Sixers. Hey, little Ben, you was playing like a bitch. Okay. The fuck?
And the foul as Thibault goes to the basket. Boy, Simmons, uncontested, had a layup, but he leaves it for Thibault.
What the fuck was that?
Who makes something out of it and is
Look
heading
at
to the
boom,
line. But that's when you know that the game is in your hand.
You had him beat.
Simmons right there. You got it, and I know you got it to Thibault.
That's a jam.
Free throws, but Ben Simmons, you gotta shoot that shot. Be confident that if you do get fouled, that you can make.
Now that was just a small example of my reaction watching that play. Now, it's funny because somebody brought to my attention. I actually think it was my cousin who said, yo, Ben just selfish. Like, I'm starting to think he passed the ball so much just to put the blame on others. So it's like, oh, I passed the ball, so-and-so missed the shot, or I passed and then this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're just trying to hide your own deficiencies. That was a sucker move. When I saw that particular play, I said, okay, that was our momentum right there. Stuff like that is what your teammates picks on. They see that stuff. You see Joel called them out about it, passing up open shots. You 6'10", you going right to the rack just to pass the ball out. His excuse was like, oh, I thought guy Nari was going to play me from behind. If he do, so what? You jam on his ass. That just go to show he was scared of the foul line. Scared of the moment. You don't got it in here to rep this city.
Yeah. Yeah. I throw my man a couple bands, understand he gon' lay on something. He ain't never talked to God, but he gon' pray on something. Keep your distance, you don't wanna catch a stray or something. Once you in the scope, you'll need a doctor like you Dre or something. I used to think that boy was mute, he don't be saying nothing. I watched him fight the
Got to do the check. The beer crisp. All right. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy B Wills. We are back again. Got another reaction video for y'all. Today, you see the title of the video. We keeping it home. I'm keeping it where I'm from, my city, Philly, 215. Today the topic is sports, and the topic is Ben Simmons and whether or not the Philadelphia 76ers should get rid of Ben Simmons. Now, I've been wanting to cover this video after that Game 7 performance on Sunday night against Atlanta. I'm finally getting able to have time to do it. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. Now, today, what I'm reacting to is realistic trade scenarios for Ben Simmons. Now, this is my first time watching this, so I'm going to give my feedback and my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Now, are these realistic? I don't know. In whose eyes? The content creator's eyes? I don't know. This is actually from Romp 2.0, his name is. So, shout out to you there with that. And, yeah, we going to get into it. But first and foremost, I want to say, do I think it's time that the city of Philly move on from Ben Simmons? Well, I'll ask you, is a pig's ass pork? Hell yeah, it's time for boy to go. Get him the hell up out of here. But let's see for what.
Today I will be going over some potential trade packages involving Ben Simmons, who has let down the entire city of Philadelphia. Now, Sixers fans, please stop overvaluing Simmons. There is no world where we get Damian Lillard for Simmons. So in this video, I will be keeping it realistic based on his value right now, which is very, 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 very low considering he was basically unplayable at the end of the game. So
he was unplayable, goddamn.
On the video, helps out a lot. Leave your thoughts down below.
For somebody unplayable, he was out there though.
First trade is revolving around the Portland Trail Blazers. I fully expect the Sixers to be working with them in the offseason because both have had disappointing ends to the season and need immediate change revolving around their co-stars CJ McCollum for the Blazers and for the Sixers, Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons. It's very simple. The trade will either be Ben Simmons for CJ and probably some picks, or depending on which player the Blazers Blazers want more, it could also be a nice simple swap between CJ McCollum and Tobias Harris. I would bet a lot of money that CJ McCollum is on the Sixers next season because he brings what was lacking: perimeter shot creation, and for the Blazers, they need defense. Simmons is obviously
All right, now, all right, for me personally, now I see that everywhere when it comes to some realistic trade options for Ben Simmons. Everybody's saying C.J. McCollum from Portland. Even Stephen A. Smith put that out there. Now, C.J. McCollum will be a good pickup for the Sixers. He can score. That's what he do. He could realistically, he gonna average 20. Maybe more than that, 25 here. Probably, hell, more. But my question is, as a Sixers fan, it's like, what is the end goal? Is the end goal to be where we are at? Second round playoff team? Or is it to win a championship? If we get C.J. McCollum or a player like that, you're going to have to fill the rest of that roster out. And we're going to have to see what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying? Because the competition only going to get stiffer in the East because everybody trying to win. You know what I'm saying? What you going to do about Brooklyn and that three-headed monster? A healthy Brooklyn team. Let's talk about that. Now, in a perfect world, I would much rather prefer. Now, Tobias for C.J. McCollum, straight up, I'd take that. I think Portland would be dumb to take that, but I would. And then you could package Ben some other way. Let's continue.
a massive upgrade in that regard, and Tobias is an upgrade on that end as well, while being more efficient than CJ. Next trade, a very simple swap between D'Angelo Russell and Ben Simmons. The Sixers finally get a real legitimate point guard next to Joel Embiid who can take some relief off of him, who can get himself and others a bucket at any point in time. Something that has been missing on the Sixers for years. The other side, the Timberwolves ranked 27th in defensive rating last season, so they get themselves a great defender in Simmons. Plus, he complements the stars of the T-Wolves very well, since Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards operate at the perimeter more often than not. The lane will be open for Simmons a lot more compared to his time with the Sixers. Moving on, this trade is actually my favorite. I came up with it because not many people would even think of this as an option.
All right, I don't want to pause too much for y'all, but D'Angelo Russell, I mean, all right, solid, but again, what is the end goal? That's like getting C.J. McCollum to me in a sense, you know what I'm saying? You want to get eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, or you want to compete for real?
It's probably unlikely. However, Kevin Love, Colin Sexton for Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle. The Sixers once again get their point guard of the future.
No, I'm a fast forward on that trade. I don't know how y'all feel about it. Colin Sexton, I'm not saying you're a bad player, but I don't want Kevin Love's contract. We tired of the bad contracts, man. Why I gotta give you Thybulle for that, even though Thybulle, you know what I'm saying? But still, like, why? I'm gonna fast forward this one real quick. Hold up. I ain't got the time for no. I don't see no Kevin Love come across my screen. See Colin Sexton. No, nigga, I'm trying to win chips. At least one. At least give us one. We trade Ben Simmons. I don't know what we getting back now. Hold on, who this? Fast forward on that one. I don't like that one. We're gonna fast forward.
Ask me, that's for the coach. Now, I'm sure a lot of Sixers fans are commenting, trade for Beal, blah, 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 blah. Well, I doubt it happens, but I made a package anyway, so it would be Beal, Neto for Simmons, Thybulle, Shake, and a bunch of picks. And honestly, it actually might have to be, to really get it done, it would have to be Simmons, Thybulle, and Maxey and a bunch of picks for Beal. I mean, this dude was second in scoring in the NBA. For some reason, Sixers fans...
Yeah, Bradley Beal balled out this season. Now, I would love. Now, when I do that trade, I would give up Maxey. Maxey promising, but again for Bradley Beal, I will. Only because if you put a shooter like that around Embiid, a scorer like that around Embiid, I feel like to compete with a team like Brooklyn, out of any players that may be available, you need somebody who's a legit number one option on their team to bring here so we can compete. I don't see, the only chance I would give them is beating somebody like the Nets is to get a player like Damian Lillard, and that ain't gonna happen, or even a Bradley Beal. And then you fill that roster, you see what you could do. But would I do that trade? I just might. I like that one. And that's my favorite trade so far, the least realistic one at this point.
think we can just make this happen with ease, but we would have to give up a lot, in my opinion.
Boy, say we. You a Sixers fan, boy? Where you from? You from Philly?
Chances are very, very slim. Same
I don't
thing
know.
with Zach LaVine. By the way, the package would include Maxey, Thibault, and Simmons. The same thing with Beal and a bunch of picks. But in my opinion, there's just not a good chance of this happening unless the Sixers want to unload the house for Beal and Zach LaVine. Another thing about my next trade.
Now that Zach LaVine trade, my personal friends, that's a deal that they want. Or that they would be open to taking. Now I know. Damn, I started calling him Sam Hinkie. What's the man name? Daryl Morey. I did see something where his players of interest, Zach LaVine, was on that list. It was like Dame Lillard, Bradley Beal, and then there's like as another option you settle for like a Zach LaVine and who was it? Was it McCollum? Somebody else of that tier. I mean, Zach LaVine a nice player, but again, I mean, with all these players, I mean, it's kind of tough because I mean, honestly, it's like, all right, what would your realistic expectations be for the team? But I mean, look at the player Ben Simmons was, and look at the success that the Sixers had with him, at least during the regular season, still finishing with the #1 seed. You probably end up just as good anyway. And again, this all depends on how the remaining roster will look as well. So I mean, if you could, the way Ben playing now with as low as as I believe his trade value to be, if you come away with a Zach LaVine or a CJ McCollum, I say do that. Do that shit, because we ain't got no choice.
The Sixers fans will probably laugh at this trade, but I really enjoy the idea of it. It's not that bad. Will Barton, Monte Morris, and Aaron Gordon plus picks for Ben Simmons. Now, one thing...
Now, I'm going to skip this one, too, just because it makes me mad. Now, again, Ben trade potential is probably at an all-time low, and it's unfortunate to the Sixers because they probably going to have to settle for what they can get. Now, if you trade him for some Aaron Gordon and Will Barton, you might as well, whatever, start the process over again. But it's a shame, you know? Like, what we going to do? You know? Whatever, let me keep it moving. We're going to fast forward this. Let's go on. I don't want to hold y'all too long. Bear with me. Hold up. What's your last one, boy? I ain't like that one at all. What's the last one?
Succeed, because we've seen him do that with every player he's basically had. So I think it's a pretty even trade. Now the Sixers would have to go out and get someone like Kyle Lowry to make this a good deal, in my opinion. But the Sixers are giving up Simmons to get valuable role players for their team that they have been missing for years. And lastly, because I'm a troll, I really like Caris LeVert. I made a trade putting him on the Sixers for shits and giggles. So LeVert, Jeremy Lamb, and Edmund Sumner for Ben Simmons and Mike Scott. Honestly, this trade is questionable for both teams.
Hell
I
yeah.
just wanted to throw it in there because Caris LeVert in a Sixers uniform would make me very, very happy. Plus, him and Joel are very injury prone, so it's only right we get him. They can develop that off-court chemistry while being injured, so I think that would help.
Oh, kicks my ass.
But
nobody want to hear that. Injured, just going on. You won't need a player just because he get injured. All right, so, all right, that's it for you. For those trade packages and scenarios. That one was, Now, honestly, that was probably as good as it's going to get, though. The first couple of picks, I mean, if you had to, I would rock with it, you know, of course. Out of all them players, I would say Zach LaVine was the best. No, Bradley Beal. Excuse me. Bradley Beal is definitely the best player. Probably the least likely to get Zach LaVine. If I'm the Bulls, I wouldn't even do that trade. Hell, honestly, after what we've seen, if I'm any of these teams, I wouldn't do that damn trade. You feel me? But you got to hope for the best. Now, y'all let me know what are your thoughts. Y'all can offer up some good trade packages for Ben Simmons, some players that you think would fit the Sixers very well in their grand scheme of things. Now, you know, when it comes to Ben Simmons, it's a shame because, you know, there was a time where, let's say like last offseason, the Sixers could have got a player like, or they could have made a trade and got somebody like a Buddy Hield or something like that. And that'd have been a nice addition to the team. Now, Ben's trade value might be at best somebody like a Buddy Hield and some picks or something like that. You feel me? So you just screwed us over, Ben, with your punk ass. That's all you really did. Now I'm gonna call you that. Now, if I ever were to see you in the street, don't hold that against me. Matter of fact, man, fuck that. You did what you did. The hell with you. Y'all let me know. Something gotta give though. This is 3 years in a row. No, 3 out of 4 years I want to say that this team has been eliminated in the second round. For the past couple seasons, they said that this was the team to come out the Eastern Conference. You know, so being a Philly cat from the city, I would love to see it. We would love to see it. We tired. You know, we tired of being in the same spot. We want to win. Ben, you were supposed to be that guy. Now, the odds of you working on your game this summer and getting better, well, you could work on your game. But there is no way that you can come back to the city. Philly is not for the weak of heart. The lack of effort and just heart that we saw from you, there is no way that we as a fan base will accept or allow this organization to bring you back. I don't see how. I don't see how. Now, knowing the Sixers' luck, you go somewhere else and you could flourish. But it's like, it's crazy to think what could have been. We talking about someone you was deemed a generational talent. LeBron, that was ridiculous. Magic Johnson, that was way ridiculous. That's what y'all get. Now you got to settle for what at best? I heard Shannon Sharp refer to you. He think you're going to be Draymond Green. You know, like an Andre Iguodala type player. Nice role player. You're going to work in the system and in the right role. But it's just here, that's not going to get the job done. It ain't. So, sad it had to come to this. Again, man. It is what it is. You got to know when it's time to move on, drop the ball. This is the end result of the process for the city. And you got to know when to cut your losses. So, for y'all watching this, NBA fans and Sixers fans alike who come across this video, y'all let me know what y'all think. What do you guys think is the best direction for the Sixers to go in? Is Ben Simmons even worthy of another shot with this team? Y'all let me know. Now, that man like a 60-something% free throw shooter. In the postseason, you was shooting 30. Well, at least in that series, 30. Take the shots, bro. We need somebody with some heart, man. That play right there single-handedly took the heart and soul out of your team, brother. Come on, man. Anyway, I'm sorry I had to vent, y'all. I had to give y'all that. Anyway, not going to hold you guys too much longer. Be sure to comment, like the video by giving it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned on the latest, as I got a lot more coming for y'all. You want to continue this topic on what the Sixers should do in this offseason? Just say that then. I got some more videos coming for y'all. I got a lot more coming. There's a lot more coming to this channel outside of these reaction videos. Everything involving me, B Wills, will be here on this channel. And I want y'all to join me on that journey, man. But with that being said, I go by the name of B Wills. Till next time, I holla.